We first started working here in 1983, and for 2 decades the sense was that it was distinctly possible to integrate wood production and conservation. I wrote textbooks on this, I studied it, I set up long-term studies looking at variable retention harvesting as an alternative to clear felling. I worked in what was called the Silvicultural Systems Project within the Victorian government for several years, and I was a passionate believer in this idea of integrating conservation and production. That all changed in one morning in April 2009, and what had happened was that approximately 1/2 of the Central Highlands ash forest had been burnt in the Black Saturday fires, February 2009, and we were talking to the Victorian government's senior officials to do with forest management, and it was made quite clear to us that there would be no change in policy, that it was business as usual in terms of cutting the resource. And our arguments were, well, how could this possibly be? You've lost a significant proportion of the forest to the fires, and ultimately all that was going to happen was that you were going to drive the timber industry into extinction way faster than it should happen. There was a clear need to back off in terms of sustained yield. Our strong sense from that morning onwards was that there was a real need for a protection policy to think deeply about a Great Forest National Park and a better protection process, and all the viability analysis that we've done since then, all the work on the different possums and gliders and on the birds, the large trees, ecosystem collapse is all pointing towards a need for significant reservation in this forest. So that was one of those moments that really did change my perspectives on how these forests should be managed and why they needed to be managed in a different way than they've been managed for in the last 40 to 50 years. So to this day we're still monitoring those long-term variable retention harvesting experiments. We still monitor clear-felled areas, we still monitor salvage logged areas. But the strong sense is that even if we were to dramatically reduce sustained yields, which has to happen given how little resources left, we are still going to need significant protection and protected areas.